2024 coming to an end, and I want to do a bit of a year in review of my stack. What has gone right? What's gone wrong? What have I accumulated? What have I bought and added to the stack? Well, one of the things that I'm very happy to say is I've completed my tube of half sovereigns. Have a guess how many half sovereigns I've managed to accumulate. Oh, very happy that the tube is completely full. But looking ahead to 2025, what's in store? What's going to happen? What am I going to be doing as a stacker? That and much more we shall discuss in today's Precious Metal Ramble. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to another Precious Metal Ramble. 2024 is coming to an end. What a crazy year it's been for precious metals and the world, quite frankly. There's a lot happened in this world that has had, of course, a big impact on the world of precious metals, and I'm not an expert, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a guy who thinks that having some of this stuff in his life is going to be good in the long run, and that's kind of how I've always been at these sort of end-of-year reviews and almost year-ahead predictions. I know it's quite a sort of thing for a lot of channels to go ahead and do like a price prediction for 2025 that's coming up in the future. I don't know where it's going to go. Nobody really does. I mean, we can sit here and pretend like we know what exact price points are going to be, but quite frankly, nobody knew where things are going to be at the end of this year, and look where we are now. So we've seen a bit of a pullback though, which is kind of nice, giving me a little bit of an inkling of going, maybe now's the time to look to buy. But I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns coming in 2025. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. So I will sum up some of my kind of targets for the year, what I've been up to in terms of acquisitions for my own personal stack, what I've been doing, what's gone well, what's not gone well. A lot to cover really, and I'm just going to talk. That's what I do best. And it's a sort of pre-Christmas ramble for all of you that enjoy listening to me talk about precious and shiny things. So if you're not subscribed and you kind of like that approach, which is a little bit less doom and gloom and a little bit less, you know, you have to go and buy it right now. If you don't buy it right now, you're going to miss out, because that's just not the case. You're in this for the long game. That's what I've always been in it for. It's one of the reasons why I don't really like doing the price predictions for the year ahead videos. One thing that I will say though is that I do genuinely think over a long period of time, whether that's 5 years, 10 years, 15, 25 years, I don't know, but I think gold and silver will continue to go up, and continue to go up fairly significantly as well. You've just seen this last week an announcement that inflation is definitely still a factor. Inflation in the UK is running at about 2.6%, something like that, which is above where they want it to be, the powers that be, the Bank of England. And in the US, we've heard that whilst there was a rate cut, there will be very unlikely to be big rate cuts coming ahead in the year of 2025, which is what a lot of people were not expecting. I think that's one of the reasons why the stocks and shares markets absolutely pooed the bed, to put a bit of a crass phase in without getting YouTube demonetization. It was a bad day on the stocks and shares markets. You know, I have stocks and shares as well. I don't just have gold and silver. So I definitely felt that. But, you know, as with all things, this is cyclical, and you've also got to look at the bigger picture of the markets, because ultimately the fact that gold and silver have got to where they are and around the, well, I'm not going to quote US prices because I'm in the UK, but around 2,050 to 2,100 pounds per ounce of gold. I think that sort of speaks volumes as to where the power of our currencies are and how that will continue to potentially devalue over time. So it is, I think, interesting to think about gold and silver as a sort of hedge against the current climate that we're in. One thing's for sure, whilst there was a very small pullback in the gold and silver price kind of this yesterday, basically when everything hit the fan on Wall Street, basically, it was not anywhere near the sort of 2.5–3% drops in the S&P 500 and various other companies out there losing, you know, massive amounts of money out there. It was a big bloodsheddy day, basically. Not the worst in the world. There have been worse for sure. But gold and silver held relatively steady, which I think is interesting. Of course, it is somewhat related to the value of currencies that we all have. I'm just noticing this little blemish here. Is that? Oh, it's just a little piece of dirt and stuff. There we go. Those are looking a bit better. Ah, the envy of the Queen's beasts. These were the best coins the Royal Mint have ever made, and now they don't make good ones anymore, really. It's all just tat for making as much money as they can. There's no pride. Anyway, I don't want to moan about the Royal Mint in this video, but that's just another topic for another time. The point is that I still think there is a place for gold and silver. So, and I can demonstrate that by having acquired some gold and silver this year. So this year has been a good year for me to acquire gold and silver. The vast majority of the gold and silver that I have acquired has been done over the course of the first part of the year before prices really went pretty parabolic and crazy. When prices did start to go a lot more parabolic and crazy, I decided, and I took a long and measured think and decision about this. I actually kind of listened to myself ramble in one of my own videos about the impracticality of these two particular coins which I bought, 2022 Dragon and 2022 Tiger and 2024 Dragon, 2 ounces of gold each. And when gold hit £2,000 an ounce, these were £4,000 a coin. And I kind of asked myself, who's going to buy them off me? Like, am I going to be able to sell these? And the answer was probably not realistically to an individual. I mean, I can't post them without the correct insurance. So I'm realistically only left with going to a bullion dealer for them. And so I then looked at some of the other bits and bobs in my stack, and I don't have too many of them left, but I do have a couple of the really nice ones. So now a 1 ounce Gold Britannia, for example. And I decided to do a big cash in with Atkinson's. You may have seen that video where I came back from Atkinson's with a boatload of sovereigns. I did a big trade up with them. I also picked up a big roll as part of that trade up of half sovereigns, which my goal was to complete this little tube of, and that has now happened over the rest of the year, which is, I think, incredible. If you're in the Cool Kids Club, have a guess as to how many half sovereigns, sorry, are in this tube. It's really, really satisfying to get a goal finished, and that is what I've managed to do this year. Well, we're losing one. There we go. It is lovely to finish your goals like that, and to have a little bit more of a fractional approach to my gold and silver stack, I think is really important for me. You know, I've got some big old silver in my stack, and back when I bought a lot of them, when silver price was in the teens, and you know, these 100 ounce bars would have cost me £1,700, £1,800. You know, right now the spot price on them, 2,400, something like that. It's hard to sell them. It is getting harder, and if silver is going to do what people want it to do and go to 30, 40, 50 pounds an ounce, it's only going to get more difficult to sell these, and that's something that I'm a little concerned about. So this one is a really nice one, though. It's a sort of Engelhard with a a small premium attached to it, as much of a premium as a 100 ounce bar could get. I'd maybe say at best you're looking at £1 an ounce more for it on a premium scale, if you're lucky. But again, who's going to buy it? Nobody wants to buy these kind of things anymore because of the changes in capital gains taxes here in the UK. So a lot of the sort of thinking for my stack going forward is not necessarily about acquiring more gold and silver. Whilst I'm always open to acquiring some more if the price is right, I'm more inclined to actually cash out some bits and bobs within my stack that would be not exempt from capital gains. I've got one coin here in my little box over to the side, which I suppose this one I won't be cashing out because I just love it. It's one of the biggest gold coins that you can possibly buy on the market, 100 soles. Oh, it's so good. It really is. Beautiful, beautiful coin. Anyway, the point is, they are not capital gains exempt, and that makes a big difference if you are going to be holding your gold for a long time and you then expect it to get to a point where you will cash it out at big profits. And if that £3,000 exemption that we have on capital gains disappears, then this coin suddenly becomes less attractive than perhaps things like sovereigns. So I think what I will be doing over the course of 2025 is keeping a watchful eye on exchanging out non-CGT stuff that I've got for CGT stuff. Using the CGT allowance that I've got every year, using Mrs. Backyard Bullion's allowance by her selling some of the gold that she owns as well. That would be a very wise course of action for us as a stacking family, so to speak. So that's the general nuts and bolts of where my strategy is going to be for 2025, and that's irrespective of price. It doesn't matter where the price is. The price could go to £100 an ounce for silver or £10,000 an ounce for gold. It doesn't really make a difference for me. Well, I kind of suppose it does. If it goes £10,000 an ounce for gold, me cashing out some of the £1,000 CGT coins that I've got, that would be a big liability and a big bill. But I mean, look, if it goes to £10,000 an ounce, am I really going to be that worried, considering I have a whole handful of half sovereigns? Again, if you haven't given a guess in the comments of how many are here, then let me know. In fact, I do need to just make sure I've got the count right down here in them, so I'm going to quickly count them out for you. So you've got the comments. get them in now. We're going to do the counting of stacks of 10. 5, 10. Right, that's a stack of 10. Now I can do the rest without having to concentrate. So yeah, let me know what you are targeting for 2025. Do you think it will be a year of acquisition for you, or do you think it will be a year of just holding firm and steady? One thing that I've noticed from my Backyard Bullion intermediary service, the selling service that I've been offering this last year and a half, is that 10? That looks like 10. This one looks like 11 now. What I've noticed is that there has been a fall off in the number of inquiries. I think there's a lot of people out there who are looking to hold their gold that they've got and hold their silver. When I do get inquiries, it's more often that it's people who are looking to sell gold right now, which comes at a kind of interesting medium because we have got, there we go, there's, no, is that 10? That might not be 10. Let's have a little count of this stack here. Because there are so many competing people out there looking to sell. Now that's 9, so there we go, there's 10. It's very difficult to sell gold. Like I've had gold go at spot price recently for capital gains exempt gold sovereigns at spot price I've seen on the forum, and they just don't sell very quickly, and that's really important. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 73 half sovereigns. That's my tube full. Very happy with that little stack. Oh, I just realized that was all done off camera. I am so sorry, or partially off camera. There we go. There's your little stack of 73 sovereigns. So there we have my kind of year update and look ahead. I think it doesn't really matter too much where prices are going to be for me. I am very content with what we've currently got in our stack and how I feel like it's evolved over the years as well. I think gives me a lot of peace of mind as to where things will be in the future for us. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. What are you up to in 2025, or what would you like to be up to, I suppose is a good way to talk about it, because we can never all be exactly sure of what's to come. And I think 2025 is going to be one of those years again, kind of like a unknown, you know, big unknowns ahead is what I'm saying. We'll just have to wait and see how things evolve over time. But what I will say is that gold and silver have always been a really good constant in a crazy world. And having some of it gives me a lot of peace of mind for the future. So there we go. There's our last precious metal ramble before Christmas. I do want to take this opportunity to wish you all a very Merry Christmas ahead. Normally we would release a video on a Wednesday, but I think Wednesday's Christmas Day, isn't it? Let's have a quick look at the calendar on the old phone. Here you go. This is rocket science YouTubing. Yeah, Wednesday is a Christmas Day, so I'll probably not release a video on Wednesday. We'll just skip that and we'll do an In Focus Friday on the 27th. So for then, we'll see you. But otherwise, thanks very much for watching. And as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.